If I had 25 pounds to lose this year, I would not waste a single second of it on any of this online nonsense. Instead, I'm going to give you 6 powerful habits that actually work. And trust me, if you do these, especially number 5, your body will change. And I'm talking about habits that fuel fat loss, build muscle, and make weight loss feel easy. Because nobody has successfully lost weight by feeling miserable long term. Now, if we haven't met before, I'm Maria and I'm a registered dietitian, and I have helped hundreds of people successfully lose weight using both psychology and science. Because let's be real, life is too short to spend it constantly on a diet. My goal is to help you reach your goals fast so that you can get on with living your best life. So if you're tired of wasting time on diets that don't work, make sure to hit subscribe because I'm here to help you too. Now, habit number 1 is an absolute game changer, and that is starting your day with a breakfast that has at least 20 to 30 grams of protein. This sets the metabolic tone for the day. It stabilizes your blood sugar levels, reduces food cravings, and helps you maintain your lean muscle mass. Because most people, when they are struggling to lose weight, their weakness is often afternoon or late night snacking. But the secret to overcoming this is not by looking at what you're eating in the evenings. It's going way back to a few hours earlier and looking at how you start your day. A huge mistake that I see my clients making again and again is having a really small breakfast and trying to have a really healthy lunch in an effort to save calories so they won't feel as bad if they do overindulge later on in the day. But it's actually much more beneficial to front load your day with your calories, particularly with protein to help keep your cravings under control. Now, if this is something that you're not really used to doing, for example, I had a client recently and she just really preferred having her bigger dinner. That was what she was always used to doing. So I encouraged her to give it a change just for 2 weeks. And that's what I would ask you to do as well, because this will allow you adequate time to see how your appetite really can change. And this client of mine was mind blown with how her hunger and cravings changed and how she was easily able to just say no to snacks later on in the evening, and how much more control she had when she sat down for her evening meal. I've also had clients say that after implementing this, for the first time ever, when they were offered something like biscuits or a treat mid-morning in work, they really genuinely felt like they did not want them. It wasn't in a, oh, I can't eat that because I'm trying to lose weight kind of a way. They were genuinely just so full and satisfied from their breakfast. You're also likely just going to probably have a much nicer day. You're going to have more energy, so you're not going to be hungry and you're going to be a nicer person to be around. So this is a win for everybody. Some solid options are overnight oats. This is one of my favorite. You can make them with milk or soy milk and a generous amount of Greek yogurt. You could also add protein powder if you want an even bigger protein boost, but Greek yogurt on its own is a fantastic source of protein and calcium for your bones. Cottage cheese is another very versatile one, which is lovely on things like whole grain toast. You can also add it into things like baked goods or make it into a pudding. But eggs, turkey sausages, smoothies with protein powder, these are all solid options. So just find whatever works for you. Now, I have a weight loss ebook with some of my favorite high protein breakfast options if you need some inspiration. And I'd also recommend following me over on Instagram, where I share lots of healthy high protein recipes. And on that note, before I move on to habit number 2, if you want one-to-one support with your weight loss journey, I have finally, after a lot of demand, opened up my clinic slots again. So you can book in with me or another member of my team. I'll leave the link below. And just in case you didn't know, dietitian fees are often reimbursable against your health insurance. So check your plan. Now, habit number 2 is your personal carb code, because carbohydrates are not the enemy, but knowing how they can work for your body is the game changer here. For most women, 30 to 40 grams of your starchy carbohydrates, like your rice, your pasta, your whole grain bread, this per meal is a good target. Now, if you have insulin resistance, PCOS or pre-diabetes, a smaller amount like 20 to 30 grams might work better for you. And if you're going through menopause, the lower end is also usually better. Men can generally handle a little bit more, so maybe around 40 to 50 grams per meal. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about the carbohydrates that you get from your fruit, your veg, or your dairy. These are just your starchy carbs, like your oats, your rice, your pasta, and your whole grains. But carbs give you energy, and you need energy to function day to day. and to live your best life. We're not trying to be miserable here, even if we are trying to lose weight. So please don't demonize carbs, because no carbs equals no energy, and that will make your weight loss attempts even more challenging. There are a lot of diets online that suggest less than 50 grams of carbohydrates every day. And this is just not practical nor sustainable, and it's one of the reasons why many people start and fall off diets again so quickly. And people need at least 130 grams of carbohydrates every day just to meet the body's energy needs. Now, after that, how much you need exactly does become quite personal, depending on things like your activity levels, your gender, and so many other factors. And some people actually utilize carbs much better than others. And they will also sustain a diet much better on higher carbs, whereas some people have more of a preference for healthy fats. It's about finding your sweet spot and what works for you. Now, for context, a half a cup of oats will give you around 30 grams of carbohydrates. Similarly, 2 slices of whole grain bread will give you 30 grams, and 1 cup of rice is around 45 grams, just to give you an idea. Now, this habit is simple, but it is so effective. Losing weight is not about hours of cardio, but it is about getting in more movement every day. For a lot of people, starting running, HIIT classes, or cycling, these are not as effective for weight loss as many people think. High intensity or long form cardio workouts when on a diet, yes, they might burn a lot of calories in the moment, but they can also often leave you feeling hungrier. Now, I'm not saying to never do them and that they're not good for you, but if your goal is losing weight and you're doing a lot of cardio, you will have to increase your food intake, or your body will start screaming out for more food in the form of cravings. So a much more straightforward approach, and what's often a lot more achievable for most people, is to look at your daily steps every day and increase it slightly. So if your average is 3,000 to 4,000 steps every day, try to bring that up to 7,000 or 8,000. If you already do 7 or 8, why not try to bring it up to 10? Because our NEAT, which is the calories that we burn daily doing just our daily activities, like walking around the house or up the stairs, this is a much bigger consumer of calories than the calories that you burn in a 45-minute spin session. So you will get a lot more bang for your buck by targeting this. And I do think it's a little bit easier for most people. Plus, walking has huge benefits for your mood and for your mental health as well. And this will have the knock-on effect of making you feel more energized, feel more healthy, and want to choose healthier foods. If you think about it, when you feel like crap, you want to eat like crap. If you go outside for 10 minutes of fresh air and a brisk walk, you're going to come back feeling so much more in control and like achieving your goals is a real possibility. So a short, brisk walk every single day can really help transform your weight loss goals. So it's not about burning crazy calories. It's about reducing stress hormones, improving your insulin sensitivity, and making you more metabolically flexible. It's much easier to sustain, and trust me, it really works. And for reference, around 10 minutes of walking is around 1,000 steps for most people. So even just doing 10 minutes here and there sprinkled throughout your day, it will really start to add up. Now, habit number 4 is thinking protein, fiber, and healthy fats at every single meal. It's balancing your plate. This combination naturally controls hunger. It stabilizes your blood sugar and it supports your metabolism. Think something like grilled chicken for your protein, with some avocado for your healthy fats, and then roasted veggies for fiber. Or it could be something like salmon with quinoa and sauteed greens. And this is part of my 5-step system that I use with my clients when we're losing weight. Now, if you want numbers, for most women, you're going to be aiming for 30 grams of protein at every meal and around 8 to 10 grams of fiber. Again, this is per meal. I don't really recommend that you need to count the amount of fat that you're getting because we don't want to overcomplicate it. But making sure you're hitting that protein and fiber target at each meal is a really good starting point. So we want balance at every meal. And this by no means means that every meal has to be something like a boring salad. You could even take a perfectly normal sandwich and make it into a healthy, balanced meal. All you need to do is choose whole grain bread for your fiber. Make sure you have a good protein source in there, like tuna or turkey or chicken, and bulk it out with some salad or a piece of fruit on the side. Now, this habit is lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. Or if you're just getting started, even 1 to 2 times a week is a really good starting point. Strength training can improve your metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and help you burn more calories. And the best part is that unlike cardio, where you only burn calories while you're doing the exercise, lifting weights will help you burn calories all day long. And if you're a woman and you're worried that lifting weights is going to make you look bulky, trust me, it takes a really, really long time to get there. Building muscle is a lot harder than many people realize. And in fact, if you do manage to add muscle, this will still help you lose weight because muscle burns more calories than fat tissue. When people talk about having a fast or a slow metabolism, a big part of that comes down to how much muscle they have. More muscle equals a higher metabolism equals more fat loss. Plus, as you progress in your journey, strength training will make maintaining your weight loss so much easier too. And here's another perk. Strength training improves insulin sensitivity. This means your body gets better at using carbohydrates for energy instead of storing them as fat. Think of your muscles like a sponge. After a workout, they soak up sugar from your bloodstream much more efficiently. And this helps to keep your blood sugar levels steady. And over time, this reduces your risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. And as you progress on in your journey, building muscle mass will help you maintain your weight loss. And not to mention, it makes everyday tasks like carrying the groceries, climbing stairs, or playing with your kids so much easier. So don't be afraid to lift those weights. Now, habit number 6 is eating with intention. Don't be eating while you're on your phone, while you're working on your laptop, or while you're standing in front of the fridge. Research suggests that people consume 10 to 25% more calories when they are eating in front of the television compared to when they're eating without any distractions. And some studies report increases even as high as 36%, depending on the type of food and the level of distraction. And it doesn't even stop there. Eating whilst distracted has also been linked to eating more at your next meal. Basically, when we don't pay attention when we're eating, our brain does not fully register what we have consumed, making us much more likely to overeat later. So eating mindfully without distractions. This helps us tune into our body's natural hunger and fullness cues. And this simple shift can lead to eating less without even needing to try to, better portion control, and more weight loss. It can also lead to improved blood sugar levels and lower cholesterol. So next time you eat, try slowing down, sitting down, and actually just enjoying your food. Your body and your waistline will thank you. So there we have it, my top 6 habits for losing weight this year. You want your high protein breakfast, 20 to 30 grams. You want to know your personal carb code per meal. You want to up your daily steps and make sure every meal is balanced, for the most part anyway. You want to lift weights and you want to eat with intention. If I had to pick just 6 to start with, this would be it. But if you're curious about the 5-step weight loss system that I use with my clients that I mentioned earlier, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do a follow-up video. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, it really helps support my channel, subscribe, and maybe share it with a friend who would also find it useful. Also, YouTube has handpicked a video that it thinks you would enjoy to watch next. I'll leave it on the screen here for you. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.